This video is sponsored by Surfshark. You just can't have an International Austellung without a little funk. And after nearly a century at the world's most funked up exhibition center, the Berlin radio show still brings it, in the form of foldables that keep getting thinner, gaming decks that keep getting larger, and phones you can finally fix yourself. Coming to you from the top of the Fernseturm. Well, actually from a humble Hilton hotel nearby, I'm MrMobile, and these are my highs and my whys from the IFA 2023 Tech Show. The biggest booth in the mobile section of the messy Messe Berlin belongs to Honor, a brand very interested in reminding everyone that it is no longer affiliated with former parent Huawei. Yeah, for all the work the purse does to undermine that message, stay tuned till the end, this phone really does live up to its magical name. The Honor Magic V2 is the answer to a prayer uttered by many a foldable fan. Someone, please, make a large format folding phone that feels like a regular slab when it's closed. Well, mission accomplished.
That's pretty slight there. It's so thin it's made me Midwestern for no reason, eh? Jeez, that's nice.
You folks might remember how excited I was to use Xiaomi's super portable Mix Fold 2 last year. And at 231 grams and 9.9 millimeters when closed, the Honor Magic V2 is even thinner and even lighter. It's really impressive. To achieve that, Honor developed a new hinge with familiar components, but shrunken to fit within a much narrower titanium spine. There's also a pair of super slim silicon carbon batteries. Seriously, they're about as thick as the cardboard coaster beneath your Bitburger. And they total a rated 4,900 milliamp hours combined. That's big for any foldable. The displays, too, are big, beautiful, and the inner one is minimally creased. The Magic V2 is also posable in tabletop mode. I think that's a first for Honor. But interestingly, only after it's been closed for 12 hours. I'm guessing the display does some of the work of maintaining that posture instead of just the hinge cams. The cameras on their big old island back here pack some impressive specs too, though I can't speak to their performance, just like I can't speak to the software, because the global version of this device reportedly won't be ready until the first quarter of 2024. Honestly, as undercooked as Honor's last attempt at global software was on the Magic VS, I think the company should take as much time as it needs to fully bake it this time around. You know what I don't ordinarily cover? Gaming decks. But then again, not every mobile console runs Windows 11 on a huge 8.8-inch display with Hall effect joysticks on detachable controllers that can double as a mouse. Yep, Lenovo can always be counted upon to get a little weird, and its Legion Go handheld had me thinking all kinds of naughty thoughts at my IFA sneak peek. Thoughts like, hey, if this thing runs Windows, could I just cart it around as a mini laptop for a day, with a wireless keyboard? With dual USB ports and the right hub, could I connect my joystick and throttle for some on-the-go flight simulator action? And if I did that, how well could that fan-cooled AMD Z1 Extreme processor hold up? And how long would the nearly 50 watt-hour battery last me if I tried these unnatural things? Probably not much longer than the 40 watt-hour battery of the Steam Deck, I'd wager. Let me know if you'd watch a weird video to go along with this weird product, and if so, I will try to fit it into the schedule. The Legion Go drops in November at a starting price of $699 US. That's for a 512GB console with controllers, puck, and case included. You know what's not fair? Penalizing someone for wanting to repair their own product. I don't talk right to repair very often because, frankly, I think it would be a little hypocritical, or at least performatively disingenuous for a guy who relies on fresh new products every week to do so. Nevertheless, as you all remind me each time I do a John Deere trip, yes, you have been heard, it is important. And Dutch company Fairphone was on hand at IFA to show how well it walks the sustainability talk. The Fairphone 5 is designed to be the world's most repairable mobile device. Its components are held together by clips or screws, with none of the glue that typically foils attempts at a fix. Several times, I watched the Fairphone folks field strip the Phone 5 in less than 5 minutes at their booth. And the modular design is clever. It means if you, for example, break a camera lens, you can just buy a new module from Fairphone and only replace that component instead of, buying a whole new phone. Same goes for the speaker, microphone, the display, or the 4,200 mAh battery, which prompted pleasant memories of user-replaceable power packs from the days of smartphone past and future. Speaking of the future, Fairphone promises platform updates for this phone up to Android 18 and security updates through the year 2031. Check back with me on my 48th birthday. There's a lot of compromise on the other side of all this, of course. I don't need to test these cameras to predict that they will probably underwhelm. There's no headphone jack, which matters more on a sustainable smartphone than others. And with the exception of the translucent option, there's nothing memorable about these aesthetics. But it's not made to stand out. It's made to be a competent smartphone without hurting the planet. And while I can't speak to all the pledges about e-waste neutrality, I do love the fact that Fairphone gives the phone's builders a living wage bonus per handset sold. And it conducts audits of its manufacturing partner to make sure the people building it aren't overworked. These claims deserve more rigorous verification than a YouTuber talking with Fairphone for 5 minutes at a trade show. But over the course of the company's 10-year history, I've never gotten the impression that its intentions were anything other than genuine. I hope the Fairphone 5 comes to the US at some point. For now, it's available in Europe for €699. Okay, let's put the curry on this verse with some IFA odds and ends. Accessory legend Anker was on hand to showcase its new Qi 2-enabled chargers. You might remember Qi 2 from CES back in January. It's the standard from the Wireless Power Consortium, which was also at IFA, that will finally bring magnetic charging to Android phones. So those of us outside the Apple ecosystem can finally enjoy the magic of a MagSafe-style charger. Now, sadly, we will still be limited to 15 watts, but nothing about the wireless charging story in the West has ever been fast. We're expecting the first Qi 2-enabled phones to hit the market this fall. Back to foldables for the penultimate product. No, not from Techno. The company was on site at IFA, but its upcoming flip phone, sadly, was not. This is a mock-up from the last company I'd expect to be feeling flexible. Ulefone. It's known mainly for the kind of mobiles you can dunk, dust up, double dip, and even dance on. Rugged radios for rough and tumble talkers. The company's first flip phone won't be as durable as all that, and I'm disappointed to see that from most angles it doesn't really stand out. At least not in the clamshell space whose style has quickly become homogenized. But it will have a 108-megapixel camera, if this placeholder text is to be believed, and a circular cover screen, which I think is kind of neat. The Ulefone X Flip is expected next year. And to close the circle on this video with a return to honor, what can I do but clutch my pearls? There's a reason this Honor V purse might look familiar. Flash back a few years and you might remember Honor's former parent company Huawei's bleeding-edge bet that outward-folding foldables might become a thing, the Mate X family of foldables. And look, I'm not saying that the purse is identical to that older phone because from what I've heard, the processor and cameras have been swapped out for lower-cost components. And of course, there's this new carrying accessory to give it its honorable new name. This is technically a concept, but I've heard from a reliable source that the phone will actually go on sale in China at an equivalent US price of around $850, which would make it not just the weirdest, but also one of the most affordable foldables around. You just gotta be prepared to scratch it within 20 minutes of unboxing it, like I did 3 years ago. In my view, Audi foldables are still not a good idea. A view supported by my Pixel Fold, by the way, which I dropped to the street off a moving scooter during a Burgermeister run, and then the next day dropped to the tile in a German cafe. But because it's an innie with its screen safely ensconced within, well, my Pixel Fold is just fine. There's a lesson in that. After a 4-year break from Berlin, I cherished the opportunity to return to IFA, chasing down gadgets and scooting the streets in search of 4 a.m. Käsebrot with some of my best friends. And as in years past, I extend a big thanks to IFA itself for providing travel and lodging so I could cover the event. Oh, and even also, for the first time in 11 years of tech trade shows, I had the opportunity to take the stage at IFA 2023 as Michael Fisher, gadget nerd, talking about the future of technology alongside some accomplished and insightful industry insiders. I'm already stoked to return to the Funkturm for 2024. If you're tired of hearing about Surfshark, I get it. After all, the company has been my sponsor for 4 years. But if you think about it, that's a good thing. It means Surfshark has done its job of keeping me and its customers safe while browsing the web all over the world. You also might have noticed that I haven't taken a sponsorship from any other VPN company since I started. And that's not because I can't. It's because I haven't felt the need to use anyone but Surfshark. In addition to securing my connection on Wi-Fi networks all around the world, it also guarantees I can still access media and services that might otherwise be restricted by the country I'm browsing from. If that sounds useful to you, get Surfshark at the link in the description and use code MrMobile for 83% off and 3 extra months free. Thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. This video was produced following 5 days at IFA 2023 in Berlin, with MrMobile's travel and lodging provided by IFA Management. In addition, IFA paid an appearance fee for my panel session at the show. However, as always, none of the companies featured in this video had any oversight or editorial input into this content, nor an early preview of same. Until next time, from Michael Fisher, thanks for watching. Und bleibt mobil, meine Freunde.